when Tupac was shot at Quad Studios, where were you when you got the news?
I was home in Jersey City, and my friend Phil Webb, the police officer, he just started. And I hadn't seen Pac, and he knew about Pac. He saw Pac when he was a kid. I used to bring him over to Jersey City. He used to spend the night with me and my other kids. Used to sleep in the bunk beds with the kids. And he had called me and said that he had heard Tupac got shot. And I hadn't heard of it. And I looked on the news, and in fact, he had. I had been trying to reach Tupac for a long time. I was talking to his publicist, and she was telling me that certain people, well, Afeni had said that she had talked to Tupac and had told him that I wanted to meet him or see him after all the years of absence. And she told me that Pac wasn't ready, that he needed more time. Well, unfortunately, later I found out that this wasn't true, that no one had told Pac that I was available, that I was around, that I was his follower. So that kind of hurt, if you know what I'm saying. That hurt a lot.
So at the age, you spoke about the age just a minute ago when Tupac would come over and sleep in the bunk bed.
He was about 3.
He was 3 years old.
Yeah, maybe about 2 or 3.
He was 2 or 3
And I
years
took
old.
him to play basketball, and all my friends thought it was my other son, Malik, Carlos Malik. I had 6 beautiful kids: Landon, Carlos, and Nika, who just passed 2 months ago.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, heart attack. That's a hard one. Takira and my youngest son, Billy Jr. So I have 6. Now I have 4. No person should lose a child. Definitely no person should lose 2 children.
Absolutely.
But he was 2, and no, he was 3 actually. So we would play ball. We played professional, semi-pro ball all over the East Coast. We were very good at it. Rucker tournaments, we were very good at it. But I took him to the gym, and all the guys said, "Is that Malik?" Because he looked so much like the rest of the kids. And I said, "No, that's Tupac." And they said, "Oh, okay." So I think that might have been one of the last few times he stayed with me, because he would come over and spend the night with the kids and spend some time with us, maybe a week or so. And one little incident too. They were all together. The boys had the bunk beds. The girl had her own room, Nika. But somebody peed the bed, just a little humor. And we don't know who peed the bed. And we always said it was Pac, but it doesn't really matter. I just thought it was cute. That the fact that, in fact, he did maybe piss the bed, just like his dad used to do when he was a kid. So there you go.
Interesting. Thank you. I appreciate that. What age was Tupac when you lost contact with him?
He had to be. I used to go over to the Bronx, Morningside. I used to visit him. Not as much though. When the party broke up, it was something different. COINTEL had changed us. COINTEL had us looking at each other suspiciously. There had been a couple murders, Panther on Panther murder. That's when everybody went to the 4 winds. They just scattered. Everybody went their different ways. And I was one of those who went a different way. I lost contact with Afeni, which later I found out she had moved to Baltimore, then Oakland. You see, so it was, I'd say maybe 13, 14 years, a gap of not seeing my son. People say, well, why didn't you look for him? I didn't know where. And then it was something that I wish I had more so. But nobody lived in stationary locations. We all moved. We had apartments. Even when we were in the Panthers, we had apartments throughout all the Bronx, all of Manhattan. We were like, gypsies. Not so much in that sense, but in the way we lived. We moved around a lot. So I went to a couple places, but nobody had seen her. They told me someone had moved to Baltimore, so I accepted that. And there was nothing I could do about it at that time, I wasn't as stable as I had wanted to be. So what are you going to do?
And In the docuseries, there was a part where Alan Hughes basically said, he mentioned a number of addresses that Afeni had potentially moved to throughout that time. Do you think that was one of the things that probably prevented you also from finding out where Tupac was at?
Yeah, no doubt.
Right.
Yeah, it was just that way. I haven't seen members of the Black Panther Party to this day. Men I had slept, and women I had slept in the same cadre with. Wherever you went, you sat, you slept. You went to the Bronx, you went down to DC, you went to Philly, you went to Minnesota. Wherever you went, you stayed at the Panther cadre house. They gave you a gun and you slept, and when you got up, you went to do your business. So it was a situation where I don't think I could have located them, even if I wanted to be honest with you.
When did you first recognize Tupac again after losing contact with him? I believe it was a Juice poster or something like that.
My boy, same guy, called me up and said, I just saw a movie, and the guy's name was Tupac Shakur. And I'm looking at this poster, and if you look at the poster, kind of looked like me in the poster because he's in the front, but he really didn't look like me until you went to the movies. And then when I went to the movies, I saw him. And I was sitting in the theater, and I started crying. And I'm sure people next to me must have been, why is this grown man crying in this movie? But they had no idea. I was seeing my son after 15 years on the big silver screen. And it gave me joy and happiness to see him. That's when I initially tried to contact him. And my concern was that he was my son, and I just wanted him to know that his dad was available. But people aren't always as honest as you think they are, my brother. They don't always tell the truth. They don't always. Broke my heart, because these are people that I was willing to die with. You understand? That I struggled with. And I don't know. It just broke my heart. It broke my heart.
Wow. Amazing.